No red wave, no blue wave either, but that hasn't stopped both sides from claiming victory. Donald Trump says the midterms went pretty well.
This election marks the largest Senate gains for a president's party in a first midterm election since at least President Kennedy's in 1962.
Well, Nancy Pelosi pretty happy also. Well, which one is it? Michael Diamond, principal at Upstream Strategy, joining us now. Who prevailed?
You know what? I'm going to take a cop out here. Nancy Pelosi had a fantastic night. She has an opportunity to become Speaker again after 8 years. She lost the speakership in the 2010 midterm election. It's been a long, dry spell for Democrats in the House of Representatives. She'll get that chance. But from Donald Trump's perspective, he picked up seats in the Senate. It wasn't nearly as bad as the shellacking that Barack Obama took in 2010, his first midterm, or that Bill Clinton took in 1994. It's very hard for the party of the incumbent president to do well in these off-year elections. So maintaining control of the Senate will allow him to still move important parts of an agenda, especially judicial appointments, which are huge for the Republican base. But on gridlock, and if the bottom falls off the economy in 2020, he's going to be blaming the Democrats in the House of Representatives.
Then you're going to, if that happens, then we're going to do the same thing, and government comes to a halt.
But Michael, that's the thing. In previous midterms, presidents have fared pretty poorly. We were led to believe, depending on who you listen to, that Donald Trump is the most loathed man in America. Seemed like he did all right, all things considered.
Absolutely. I mean, gaining seats in the Senate, for example, including some, Claire McCaskill in Missouri, who was popular, she's a Democrat, but she was a good senator, really lost by a larger margin than even expected. And there was huge turnout for an off-year election. Usually these are lower turnout elections. It's harder to get people out to vote without the presidential race on the ballot, driving out the less likely voters. Donald Trump still didn't do that badly with huge turnout, which a lot of folks were expecting.
Okay, so where do they head now? The Democrats, do they decide we're going to work to impeach this guy? We're going to investigate, open up all of these committees, or should they focus on economic issues or something else? How can they move forward productively, both for them and for the country?
Well, impeachment shouldn't be used just because you don't like what the voters picked in the previous election. That's really not on. You need to have the criteria for impeachment is a high crime or misdemeanor until someone can credibly point to something that Donald Trump did that is a high crime or misdemeanor, like you can to Bill Clinton. He committed perjury as president.
Is Robert Mueller going to do that, though? Because people think Mueller was somehow waiting. I'm not sure why he'd politically time his investigation. Is he going to come out and say, yes, we found that Donald Trump is in league with the Russians?
Now, Mr. Mueller, go right through that door. Unimpeachables first. Oh, hi, Bob. Come on in.
That's possible, and that would be very scary to have a investigation being timed to political ramifications. We saw that, in the previous election, people on both sides were very upset with the FBI on that, so that would be very concerning. But you will see the House, I think, be very political. But the Senate, you need 60 votes, a supermajority of 2/3 of the Senate, 66 votes to impeach a president. That's never going to happen. It would be a waste of time, and the Republicans suffered in the midterm election in 1998 because they went after Bill Clinton on impeachment. I would predict the same thing for the Democrats this time.
So, Michael, give me a sense of the political landscape right now in terms of where people are on the spectrum. Who was brought in? There's a young lady from New York into Congress who's a self-declared socialist. Are the Democrats moving more leftward? Where are the Republicans going? Where does this put us?
Look, I think one of the things that you are seeing on both parties is that they're moving to the more extreme. So you have Donald Trump, a populist right-winger, and you had Bernie Sanders on the left, but also on the populist spectrum. So he did very well in those primaries against Hillary Clinton. And had he been a more mainstream, more palatable candidate, he probably, and actually a member of the Democratic Party, may have even been able to beat her. So I think that's the direction you're going to see. So the House is definitely moved to the left. It's more diverse, with more female than it had been in the incoming House than the previous House. And the Democrats, I think, to beat Donald Trump, really need to contrast with him. Howard Dean said, you can't beat the Republicans if you're diet Republican, and that's where the Democrats have to go. They need to be contrast with Donald Trump, not echo mainstream Republicanism.
Was 2018 good for 2020 for the Republicans, or for the Democrats? Is this good for Donald Trump's re-election prospects?
So we're going to hear both sides say that it was good for them, and that's, obviously lower expectations, you claim victory when you get the chance, and that's what both sides will do today. And for Nancy Pelosi, great day, she may get to be Speaker again. Donald Trump, I actually think this was a good thing for his re-election prospects. Again, maintaining the Senate, he'll be able to get those judicial appointments through. He only was elected president because there was a vacancy on the Supreme Court, and that was so important to drive out some more socially conservative Republicans who were skeptical of him. So he'll still be able to get those appointments through. But again, if the economy goes south, if the job numbers don't continue to perform at the rate they have been, which will be hard because he has, a good track record on that, if it's because of him or not, he'll be able to blame the Democrats in the House and say, look, things were going great. You elected those clowns to the House of Representatives. Things fell apart. Trust me again.
Good to see you, Michael Diamond.
Thanks for having me.
Folks, thanks for tuning in. Let us know what you think. Comment below. Send us on your thoughts on social media right in the comment section.